Have you ever noticed that some people always seem to have something exciting to talk about? Not because they are traveling the world every week, not because they are famous or rich, but because they have something they enjoy doing, a hobby. And honestly, I think everyone should have at least one hobby, just one. Something that belongs only to you, something that doesn't care about your grades, your salary, your followers. Because let's be honest, life can be a little repetitive sometimes. Wake up, check your phone, work or study, eat, scroll, sleep, and repeat. And before you know it, an entire month has disappeared. Have you ever looked at your screen time and thought, wow, I spent how many times doing absolutely nothing? Because I definitely have. And that's why hobbies are so important. They give your days texture, they make life feel less like a checklist and more like an experience. Think about it. Imagine two versions of the same person. The first one finishes work and immediately starts scrolling for hours, and the second one finishes work and spends 1 hour gardening, learning guitar, baking, cooking, painting, reading books, literally anything. Which person do you think will have more stories to tell, more memories, more excitement in their day? Probably the second one, and it's not because their hobby is changing the world, it's because they are actively participating in their own life. That's what hobbies do. They make you a participant instead of a spectator. I think one of the saddest thing about growing up is that somewhere along the way, many of us stop doing things just because they are fun. As kids, we drew terrible pictures. We danced badly, sang loudly, and nobody asked if it would make money. Nobody asked if it would become a career. Then adulthood arrives, and suddenly every activity needs a purpose. Will this help my career? Will this be useful? Can I monetize it? Can it become a side hustle? And while those questions aren't bad, sometimes it's nice to do something simply because it makes you happy. No other reason needed. That's where hobbies become magical. They give your brain a little vacation. For a few moments, you are not thinking about deadlines, about bills, about stress. You are just present. And honestly, being present is becoming a rare skill these days. Now I know some of you are probably thinking, okay, but I don't have a hobby, or maybe I don't have time, or my personal favorite, I'm not talented. Can we all agree to stop using that last one? Because hobbies are not talent competitions, nobody starts good. Literally nobody. First cake was probably burnt, first guitar song sounded terrible, my first painting looked like a potato, and that's normal. The point isn't perfection, the point is enjoyment. And speaking of enjoyment, can I tell you about the hobby that completely changed my life? Painting. Because out of all the hobbies I've tried, this one has stayed with me the longest. And the funny thing is, I didn't start because I wanted to become an artist. I started because it was fun. That's it. There is something so relaxing about sitting down with a blank page. No expectations, no pressure, just you and your imagination. Sometimes I paint while watching my favorite movies, while listening to music, and sometimes I paint while thinking about dreams I haven't achieved yet. And the best part, there are no rules. Your sky can be pink, your flowers can be blue, your stars can be giant. Nobody can stop you. Imagine having a hobby where you can create entire worlds from nothing. That's what drawing and painting feels like. It's creative freedom. But beyond the fun part, painting has taught me so many things. Patience, because paintings take time. Confidence, because every finished artwork proves that I can create something from scratch. And perhaps most importantly, it taught me how to enjoy the process. We live in a world obsessed with results, but painting doesn't work like that. You can't trust a masterpiece. You have to enjoy the brushstrokes, the mistakes, the messy middle, and honestly, I think that's a beautiful lesson for life too. Because life isn't just about reaching goals, it's also about enjoying the journey towards them. Another thing I love about painting is that it makes ordinary days feel special. A random Tuesday becomes exciting because you are working on a painting. A rainy afternoon becomes cozy because you are sketching. A boring evening becomes memorable because you are creating something. And suddenly life feels richer, more colorful, more interesting. I believe hobbies can save us from boredom, not because life becomes easier, but because life becomes fuller. You start noticing things, interesting clouds, beautiful flowers, movie scenes, funny moments, little details. Because your hobby trains you to pay attention, and attention is where joy lives. So, if you've been feeling stuck lately, or uninspired, or like every day feels exactly the same, maybe you don't need a completely new life. Maybe you just need a hobby, something small, something fun, something that belongs to you. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's photography or reading, maybe it's something completely different. Something that reminds you that life isn't only about responsibilities, it's also about curiosity, creativity, and joy. So, I'm curious, what's your hobby? Or if you don't have one yet, what hobby would you love to try? Tell me in the comments because I want to know. And who knows, maybe your answer will inspire someone else to start something new.